Imagine this. It is late on a Thursday evening. Most of Wall Street has logged off for the day, analysts have closed their laptops, and traders are heading out for dinner. But right then, the United States Army drops a massive update that shakes up the entire defense tech space. They unveil a newly structured agreement with Palantir Technologies, one that could be worth up to $10 billion spread out over the next 10 years. This is not just any update. This is the kind of announcement that makes people sit up in their chairs, grab a pen, and start doing some very fast math. Now, before you picture Palantir executives high-fiving each other in a conference room, there is an important detail you need to know. Just because the Army laid out this long-term agreement does not mean they are committed to spending all of that money. The Army is saying, we may be buying a lot of software from you over time, but we are not writing the check just yet. That being said, the mere size and scope of this agreement are what make it so interesting. Let me break down what actually changed. The Army is basically cleaning up its house. They took 75 separate contracts, including 15 main ones and 60 smaller supporting ones, and folded them all into a single streamlined agreement with Palantir. This is a big deal. Instead of managing dozens of scattered deals, the Army now has one centralized agreement. That means fewer headaches, less paperwork, and faster turnaround when it comes to getting software into the hands of soldiers. And here's where it gets even better. This new contract includes volume-based discounts. In simpler terms, the more the Army decides to buy, the cheaper each purchase becomes. Plus, by eliminating reseller fees and middlemen, they are cutting out the extra costs that usually slow things down and bloat the budget. In their own words, the Army said this will speed up how quickly they can deliver powerful commercial software to troops on the ground. And we are not talking about basic tools, we are talking about advanced data integration platforms, complex analytics systems, and artificial intelligence that can process and act on battlefield data in real time. Now, even with all this buzz, Palantir stock slipped by 1.7%, falling to $155.70 during early trading. But that drop had more to do with the general stock market reacting to some fresh tariff headlines from the Trump administration. Still, investors were also scratching their heads and wondering, how much money will Palantir actually make from this? Daniel Ives from Wedbush steps into the spotlight. If you have followed his analysis before, you know he is not one to exaggerate unless there is good reason, and he made it clear that this contract is no small potatoes. According to him, this is one of the largest software agreements in the history of the United States Department of Defense. He explained that the Army is planning to buy products and services when needed, and that this new setup will help them save big on essential military programs. But Ives did not stop there. He believes this deal puts even more wind in Palantir's sails, especially as the government ramps up its artificial intelligence programs. He hinted that we are likely to hear more details about this deal, and possibly some very strong results tied to artificial intelligence, when Palantir delivers its earnings report after markets close on Monday. In a follow-up email, Ives clarified that this agreement is not a guarantee of sales, but it definitely positions Palantir to win a much bigger slice of the pie in the coming years. Speaking of that earnings report, mark your calendars because it is happening on August 4th after the closing bell. Palantir is walking into this earnings season with some serious momentum. Just one day before the news dropped, Palantir stock hit a brand new all-time high during intraday trading, climbing to $160.89. Although the shares pulled back after that, it is still a major milestone that shows just how much enthusiasm investors have built up, and honestly, they have every reason to be excited. So far in 2025, Palantir's stock has climbed by about 109%. That makes it the top performing stock on the entire Standard & Poor's 500 index, and it is not the first time either because Palantir also led the pack last year. Now here's what Wall Street is expecting when the numbers come in. Analysts believe the company will report a 54% increase in earnings, hitting 14 cents per share. Revenue is expected to jump 38%, reaching $939.3 million. That is no small feat, especially in a year when many companies are still navigating uncertain terrain. Let's break it down even more. Palantir's government business is forecasted to grow by 38%, bringing in $513 million. On the commercial side, analysts are predicting another 38% boost, which would add up to $425 million. So while the government side is clearly still dominant, the commercial business is definitely holding its own. Everyone will be tuning in to hear what Palantir's leadership has to say about future government spending and a certain initiative that has been quietly getting more attention. It is called the Golden Dome Space Defense Program. If Palantir is tapped to play a bigger role in that, it could be another major catalyst for the company's long-term growth. Looking back, Palantir has built its reputation by supplying top-tier data tools to government agencies involved in intelligence, counterterrorism, and military operations. They have proven they can handle the most complex high-stakes environments in the world. Now the company is pivoting to bring that same level of power to the private sector, using generative artificial intelligence to break into industries like healthcare and financial services. So the story here is more than just a government contract. It is about a company that is evolving, expanding, and pushing into new frontiers. Whether you are already holding Palantir stock or just keeping an eye on it, the next few weeks could be crucial. Between the massive army deal, rising artificial intelligence demand, and a record-breaking stock performance, there is no shortage of reasons to pay attention. Essentially, Palantir Technologies has entered into a restructured agreement with the United States Army that could lead to up to $10 billion in software purchases over 10 years, consolidating 75 contracts into one streamlined deal that includes volume-based discounts and faster software delivery to soldiers. Although the Army is not obligated to make additional purchases, the move is seen as a major opportunity for Palantir. Despite a 1.7% drop in stock due to broader market concerns, analysts remain optimistic, highlighting this as one of the largest software agreements in Department of Defense history. With second quarter earnings set to be reported on August 4th, expectations are high as Palantir stock is up around 109% in 2025, and the company is forecasted to post strong revenue and profit growth driven by both government and commercial demand for artificial intelligence and data analytics solutions. For more stock news updates, remember to press the like button and subscribe. With that being said, I will see you in the next video.